presents to you Honest Talk.
Hello folks, we are privileged to announce that today Dr. Devasia is joining us. Dr. Devasia is one of the well-known faces in the national and international arena of business continuity management and aviation emergency management with more than 20 years of domain experience. Currently, he is part of one of the leading private airports in India. So let's begin our talk with Dr. Devasia.
So first of all, thank you so much, sir, for joining and agreeing to share your thoughts with us. We are really very happy to have you for today's talk.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. So moving to the topic of today's session, which we have chosen is impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on aviation industry. So sir, when I was collecting question and I thought that the first question which I should put here is how hard this pandemic affected the aviation industry. I think this is the most important question. So please tell how it has affected.
Thank you, Harsh. This is one of the important aspects as far as the COVID impact is concerned, that the aviation industry has got a serious issue because we faced actually a lot of challenges as part of the COVID. But I would like to put it in probably in a two category. Maybe it's an operational aspects or a financial aspect, because aviation is one of the much sought after travel mode actually, or industry, okay, where a large number of people in the last 1 decade, irrespective of business or white collar, forget, everybody was actually opting to travel through aviation or airlines or through airports, okay. Now, COVID has made a huge impact on that one. If I just simply put it in some of the digits, and if I take one of the 2019 pre-COVID time and 2020 after the COVID, if I take a comparison, the slicing up of that one, you can easily understand. Like the month of May 2019, globally there was 26.9 lakh flights, okay, and in the 2020 May, if you are taking, it is just 9.9 lakhs. So there is a drastic change in the flight operation globally, whether it is a domestic or international, passenger or a cargo. So almost a 62 point, or I can say around 63% of difference we can see from last pre-COVID to the post-COVID. So operationally looking at, it's a huge impact, and still normal operation has not resumed. Coming to the economic aspect of COVID on the aviation industry, it again goes with whether the revenue is getting generated, okay, by the airline or by airports or even the associated organizations. So you can say the ground handling agents such as GHAs or the fuel providers or even the service providers are coming in. Okay, so globally, if put together domestic and international revenue loss, if I calculate, it is something around 43 crore million. Something around 43 crore million is the loss globally for the passenger domestic and international, in which something around 12 crore million is actually from the Asia Pacific region. Okay, so you can come to know, you can realize that what is the kind of loss actually as far as the revenue generation is concerned. So broadly speaking, COVID has actually created a huge impact on the aviation from operational or from financial perspective. Now there is one more thing. Every airline globally operates with some model called lease models, or many airlines are having their own aircraft, but there are a large number of fleets actually leased by. Now when the airlines are not able to operate, okay, or when the flights are not taking off, all those are grounded. Maintenance of that one is another issue. The huge cost which the airline needs to bear for keeping the airworthiness while these aircrafts are grounded. That's one thing. And if something is to fly for repatriation, evacuation, this kind of things, actually still the kind of spending they need to do to ensure safety or health and safety part of the passenger and the crew, and disinfecting and things like that. Okay, so that we're looking at. While no revenue comes in, the cost is going to be very huge to maintain the current situation. I think I should just sum up in a very simple form this way.
All right, sir. You have shared so many information, valuable information. I think it will be fruitful for our viewers too. So, sir, my next question to you is that as you have experienced so much in aviation industry and you are aviation expert, so, sir, my next question to you is that, sir, what do you think? How long will it take again for the aviation industry to stand up?
Oh, that's a very, very tricky question, Harsh, because it's too premature. Actually, I can say at this point it will be very difficult to say how long it will take to come back. Actually, okay. But I can say one or two things. One thing, it all depends upon the speed in which the world community is coming up with some vaccine. Okay. If the vaccine for COVID is discovered and if it is commercially available across the globe, then I can say aviation will go quickly. Maybe I can say within once the vaccine is invented, within a 3 to 6 month time, the entire aviation business will come back to almost similar to what was pre-COVID time. But anyway, vaccine is not the only thing. Actually, still the vaccine may come in a short time, or some medicines will come. But if you look at the curing survival rate of the COVID cases in India itself, we can see 60 plus. Okay, it's a good sign actually. One thing, economy needs to open on the other side. Okay, we cannot keep all the time lockdown globally, or India. Not only India, any other country also cannot do the lockdown in a continuous way for a long time. But it has to open. When we open that one, obviously there will be a business coming back, but it may not be the same as before the COVID. Okay, but at least we can say it is not far. Probably in the next 1 or 2 months time, we can come to know that the number of countries opening the aviation front, and travel will happen. Travel will resume, not only for the evacuation or not only for the repatriation, but even for the business travelers or things like that. But leisure or entertainment or vacation, this kind of travel may take little more time to resume. That's what I can just sum up.
All right, sir. So, sir, my next question to you, sir, what do you think, sir, what will be the future of aviation industry? How much it will be affected after this all pandemic?
That's, I think today you have very interesting questions. Okay, the future of aviation industry is getting into a redefined shape right now. Maybe 2 months back it was unpredictable very much actually. Okay, it was very much unpredictable. But now across the globe, I can say airline community or airport community or even the experts or the regulators, everybody is actually working together, okay, to redefine the aviation future. I can say a few things like way forward, aviation will be focusing too much on the health and safety. That's one important thing actually. Health screening, or what we say the temperature screening for the COVID purpose. Okay, COVID may go after some time, but again there will be something else coming in. Okay, and we have past experience in Ebolas or any other kind of SARS-CoV viruses actually. Okay, so health screening or the health and safety aspect will be one of the unavoidable or inevitable part of an aviation business or aviation travel. Second thing I can say, traditional concept of doing everything at the airport, come to the airport, do the check-in, generate a ticket, generate a boarding pass, these all stories are getting away. Touchless, contactless journey. I can say no touch, no contact. Straight away do it with on an online platform where probably 100% of boarding process generated online, either through web, otherwise through apps or something like that actually. So before they come, the boarding pass is also generated like that. So a touchless journey or a contactless journey is actually one of the redefining factors as far as the aviation is concerned, and that's one of the safest as well. Okay. third thing I can say that the way the aviation fraternity, whether it is airline or airports, interacting with the customers, that also gets changed. There was, if not all, at least there were a couple of organizations or carriers not very much interested in, I can say, the social platforms or shying away from that one. But going forward, social platform will be one of the best channels, whether it is Twitter or Facebook or any other channels. They will be one of the best platforms to interact with the, I can say, the passengers or the customers. So a communication perspective also we can change, and keeping up to date with the information and ensuring, I can say that a reassurance is given to the passengers or the customers through these platforms as well. Okay, so maybe the last point I can say, if travel perspective, business travels slightly may come down because alternative channels are already well doing. Right now we are also doing this particular session on through the Zoom or anything like that. Okay, so these kind of channels are available with much safety and IT security and everything like that. So some way looking at defining perspective, or I can say from a future perspective, looking at this is what from airport or airline side. Now there is one more thing actually with the passenger side. Okay, passengers also have to have a different way of looking at the flying. Actually, there cannot be unreasonable expectation of higher speed processing and things like that, because patients at the airport, okay, probably to take it was a larger shoppings and things like that. There will be certain limitations, restrictions as far as the flying is concerned. They may need to come with their own personal devices or a personal safety system, and they have to follow certain particular protocols, safety of himself or herself, or the other things like that. So overall, looking at future is going to be contactless. Okay, more emphasis or a stress on the health and safety part again, or I can say at least equally important that way. Like, okay, this is what.
All right, sir. Sir, when I was collecting the question for this session, I got one question which is common in all the platform, and I think I should put this question here as you are coming here. The question is, sir, is this pandemic will affect the jobs of people associated with the aviation industry, or will it create that the future type of job will be different or something like that?
Yeah, Harsh, this is very important and very deliberate, sensitive matter again. I can say that one. Of course, there will be a problem, there will be an impact. There is no doubt in that one. I need not say, but if you just turn the pages of newspapers or surf or just Google, you will come to know, or you from the news channels you will come to know a lot of organizations, airlines as well as other organizations in the aviation industry. They have taken certain measures actually to either reduce the manpower, otherwise to reduce the salary of the existing people while retaining them. Okay, otherwise not giving any additional benefits other than the salary, or some kind of measures are already taken. Okay, that's very important, because I already said there is no revenue coming in, only spending happens. That's good. But there are certain organizations among airports and aviation, no impact has been passed on to their employees. They are well protected. At the same time, they are struggling their best to manage the show. When it comes into the job, I can say globally what you and me hearing is actually something around 20 to 25 million jobs will be get affected, and it's not scientifically proven, but that's what we get the assumption or the early calculation. I can say early calculation based conclusion. I can say there will be impact on that one. But these impacts are going to be, every disaster has got another opportunity again. Okay, there will be a new set of jobs coming into the aviation industry, if not exactly in the aviation, maybe in the non-aviation front of an I can say if it is not hardcore to the or technically may not be an aviation job, but a non-technical aviation, I can say, or in a very simple language, jobs in the airport or in the airline industry, which may not be technical aspect to the aircraft operation. Okay, those kind of jobs, probably the number of IT based job opportunities, okay, or maybe some different way of looking the commercial activities in the airports, so opportunity come like that. So non-aviation job may come in, but aviation job there may be a little bit of setback, but I'm still telling that this is actually a short-term problem. Once aviation back to normalcy or back to full operations, then again that hiring will go back, will be happening, and people will come back to the job. People have to come back to the job and get the protection of the jobs and things like that. Okay, so there will be an immediate impact. Probably it may not be a very sustainable long-term kind of impact. Will bounce back.
All right,
I
sir.
don't know whether I have. Yeah. I'm not sure whether I have answered you. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, sure. You have answered. Sir, you have shared so many valuable information. I think it will be much fruitful for our viewers. Sir, I don't want to waste your much time. So moving to my last question of this session, sir, what would you like to comment on? What are the learnings we should take from this pandemic?
This learnings, it's a little bit of confusing actually, because there is nothing firm or I can say that whatever learning come out of this COVID-19, or I can say novel coronavirus issue, is nothing confirmed till date actually. Okay, we have a lot of inferences, and we know what are the symptoms, we know but sometimes there are asymptomatic also happening. Okay, we are doubtful. A set of people, school of one club says that it is communicable, not only in the current shape, it is airborne. Somebody says it is not, but you have to follow what the WHO or the respective countries' health ministries or health experts are telling. You have to believe that one. So in a way, looking at COVID, it's very early to conclude what should be the learnings actually like that. But one or two small things I can say, which may get changed again as we come to know more realities or something like that. One thing I can say, COVID has taught us to think differently. Okay, COVID has taught everybody. It's not only in aviation. Everywhere we are actually forced to think differently actually. Okay, and that's one important factor. And the traditional or the legacy pattern which we follow, and we said that I am not ready for change. Okay, that has been taken away. Now we have to change, and we should change. And that's one of the important outcome of COVID, I can say, if learning or not, but more than an outcome of that one. Second thing, people are actually, every disaster is again a great leveler, you know that one. Okay, COVID has also impacted not only one industry, it has actually impacted every industry. It has impacted everyone, right from the top guy to the bottom. Okay, and irrespective of whether medical or non-medical or aviation or non-aviation, everybody has impacted actually. Okay, so the importance of this the equalities and things like that, when it comes into another one important outcome, people are realized that everybody is to be taken care of, or everybody should be considered, something like that. Learning wise, I said it is it's premature actually too. Still, I can say one point that health and safety should be given utmost priority. Health and safety. Okay, and when it comes into, everybody has to fall in line, and they have to follow exactly what supposed to happen, and cannot have any compromise in that one, irrespective of the money or the business requirements or the strength of whatever. But still, health and safety needs to be given due importance everywhere. Okay, probably I will only leave this particular component here. We have to wait for again to get a full details, or I can say a scientifically carved out learning which could be replicated in the future.
All right, sir. You have given so much important point. I think we all need to understand that health and safety, we need to take care of it. Thank you so much, sir, for being part of this session. It was really a great discussion with you. Thank you so much, sir, for joining and giving your important time to us.
Thank you.